We, the SANONS, are delighted to offer a Bible-based answer to each question in this article. Jehovah's name, what it should mean to us. You are my witnesses, declares Jehovah. Isaiah 43 verse 10. Focus. To show our role in the sanctification and vindication of Jehovah's name. Questions 1 and 2. How do we know that Jehovah's name is important to Jesus? Our Bible-based response. We know Jehovah's name is important to Jesus because he was willing to die for it and all it represents, proving his deep love for his Father. He came to the earth in his Father's name, taught in that name, and performed miracles in that name, as described in John 5 verse 43 and John 10 verse 25. His example shows us the close bond he has with the person that name represents. Question 3. What will we discuss in this article? Our Bible-based response. We will discuss how Jehovah's name identifies those proclaiming the good news of the kingdom and what it should mean to us personally, according to Matthew 24 verse 14 and 1 Peter 2 verse 21. This will help us deepen our appreciation for our role in honoring that name. A people for his name. Questions 4. A. What commission did Jesus give his disciples before he returned to heaven? B. What question arises because of that commission? Our Bible-based response. Jesus commissioned his disciples to be witnesses of him to the most distant part of the earth, which raised the question of whether they also needed to be witnesses of Jehovah. As described in Acts 1 verse 8 and Matthew 28 verses 19 to 20, this commission shows that their message would reach people of all nations and point them to Jehovah's role in salvation. Question 5. How did the apostles and older men in Jerusalem show that all people need to know Jehovah's name? Our Bible-based response. They concluded that Christians must be a people for God's name, quoting the prophet Amos to show that people of all nations would seek Jehovah and be called by his name, according to Acts 15 verses 14 to 18. This established that knowing and bearing Jehovah's name is essential for true discipleship. Questions 6 and 7. A. Why did Jesus come to the earth? B. What other more important reason was involved? Our Bible-based response. Jesus came to give his life as a ransom for mankind, but more importantly, to sanctify Jehovah's name that had been slandered in Eden, as described in John 3 verse 16 and Genesis 3 verses 4 to 5. His role as the bearer of Jehovah's name made him central to clearing that name of reproach. Question 8. What would all believers in Jesus need to acknowledge? Our Bible-based response. All believers would need to acknowledge Jehovah as the source of salvation and recognize the importance of sanctifying his name, according to John 17 verse 3 and Acts 2 verses 21 to 22. Like Jesus, they would be identified by Jehovah's name and uphold its holiness. You are my witnesses. Question 9. How can we show that Jehovah's name is important to us? Our Bible-based response. We show Jehovah's name is important by working for its sanctification, considering it above all others, and supporting God's kingdom, based on Matthew 6 verses 9 to 10. This means actively defending his name against Satan's slander. Question 10. What figurative court case is described in chapters 42 to 44 of the book of Isaiah? Isaiah 43 verse 9 and Isaiah 44 verses 7 to 9. See also picture. Our Bible-based response. These chapters describe a figurative court case where false gods are challenged to prove themselves, but fail, leaving Jehovah's people as his witnesses, as described in Isaiah 43 verse 9 and Isaiah 44 verse 8. By bearing witness, we help prove Jehovah is the only true God. Question 11. What declaration does Jehovah make to his people, as recorded at Isaiah 43 verses 10 to 12? Our Bible-based response. Jehovah declares that we are his witnesses and that there is no God besides him, as described in Isaiah 43 verses 10 to 12. By our loyal words and actions, we testify that he is the only true God, proving our love and loyalty to him regardless of Satan's pressures and helping to sanctify his name. Question 12. How was the prophecy found in Isaiah 40 verses 3 and 5 fulfilled? Our Bible-based response. The prophecy was fulfilled when John the Baptizer prepared the way for Jesus, who came in Jehovah's name and represented him perfectly, as described in Isaiah 40 verses 3 and 5 and John 12 verse 45. This revealed Jehovah's glory to mankind in a way no one else could. Question 13. How can we imitate Jesus? Our Bible-based response. We imitate Jesus by being witnesses of Jehovah, bearing his name, and making known Jesus' role in sanctifying that name, as described in Acts 1 verse 8 and Revelation 1 verse 5. By following Jesus' lead, we help others appreciate Jehovah's marvelous deeds. What Jehovah's name means for us. Question 14. As highlighted at Psalm 105 verse 3, how do we feel about Jehovah's name? Our Bible-based response. We take great pride in Jehovah's name, viewing it as a privilege to honor it before others, according to Psalm 105 verse 3 and Jeremiah 9 verses 23 to 24. Our love for his name moves us to speak about it openly despite Satan's efforts to make people forget it. Question 15. What does it mean to call on Jehovah's name? Our Bible-based response. Calling on Jehovah's name means trusting him, seeking his help, and declaring his qualities to others so they can gain his approval, as described in Joel 2 verse 32 and Acts 2 verses 21 and 38. It involves more than knowing his name, it means acting in harmony with it. Question 16. How can we prove that Satan is a liar? Our Bible-based response. We prove Satan a liar by staying loyal to Jehovah even under suffering, as described in Job 2, verse 4 and James 5 verses 10 to 11. This shows that our devotion is genuine and not dependent on favorable circumstances. Question 17. In what other way can we bring glory to Jehovah's name, as mentioned at 1 Peter 2 verse 12? Our Bible-based response. We bring glory to Jehovah's name by living in a way that causes others to speak well of him, according to 1 Peter 2 verse 12 and Proverbs 30 verse 9. Our conduct and speech should always honor the one we represent. Question 18. What is another way that we can prove that Jehovah's name is important to us? Our Bible-based response. We prove Jehovah's name is important by valuing it more than our own reputation, as described in Psalm 138 verse 2 and Hebrews 12 verses 2 to 4. Like Jesus, we are willing to endure shame or reproach if it means honoring God's name. Question 19. How do you feel about Jehovah's name, and why? Our Bible-based response. We feel deeply honored to bear Jehovah's name and willingly endure reproach for it, as described in Matthew 26 verse 39 and Hebrews 12 verses 2 to 4. Its importance to us is greater than our own reputation, motivating us to praise it continually. How would you answer? 1. What indicates that Jehovah's name is important to followers of Jesus? Our Bible-based response. Jehovah's name is important to followers of Jesus because they actively work for its sanctification, placing it above every other name and proclaiming it to others, as described in Matthew 6 verses 9 to 10 and Acts 15 verse 14. This shows their loyalty to the one whom Jesus perfectly represented. 2. What figurative court case are we involved with today? Our Bible-based response. We are involved in the figurative court case described in Isaiah 43 verse 9 and Isaiah 44 verses 7 to 9, where the issue of godship is on trial. Based on these verses, Jehovah challenges false gods to prove themselves, and we act as his witnesses, testifying that he alone is the true God. 3. How can we prove that Jehovah's name is important to us? Our Bible-based response. We prove Jehovah's name is important by valuing it above our own reputation, remaining loyal under suffering, and living in a way that honors him, according to Psalm 138 verse 2 and 1 Peter 2 verse 12. In doing so, we demonstrate the same devotion to his name that Jesus showed. Source: Daddy, Mommy, Doniani, and Coletni.